Good afternoon, everyone. Yalancy Peterson here, Ride with Peterson. Today, it is Sunday, February 27th, 2022. The time is 5:04 in the afternoon. And if you are still driving as a rideshare driver for whatever company is out there now, the two questions I have for you: why are you still doing it? And is it still wise to continue driving on rideshare? Because so many people have lost so much because of the changes in transportation, and specifically with rideshare. I don't want you to consider me as a hater of rideshare, but as someone who understands the truth of what rideshare is, to me, rideshare represents theft. I want you to hear me out on this. The transportation business is managed by a set of rules that every business followed until rideshare came along. They came in and they said, we're going to do what we want to do. We're not going to classify the drivers as employees because we don't have to. We're not going to provide the vehicles. We're not going to pay for the gasoline. We're not going to pay for the maintenance. And we're not going to pay the drivers what they should be paid so they can properly take care of themselves in America. We're not going to do that because we don't have to. And what ended up happening was a bunch of people who never did the work made the money. They stole business from those companies that followed the rules, that followed the procedures, and they called it capitalism. All competition came along, and all those companies, they were too slow to adapt to change and market conditions and whatnot. And then when the rideshare companies when they embraced the business model that worked so well for transportation, then they proceeded to extinguish the old business model and made it so that at the end of the day, the only options that were available was what we have now, rideshare. But that's starting to change, to go back to the way it properly should be. You have companies like Alto that are saying, hey, there is a better way where everybody can be treated fairly, ethically, responsibly. The customers get what they want. The company gets what they want. The government gets what they want. But most importantly, the drivers get what they need. Not only want, but need. And that is what's missing with rideshare. And so it goes back to the question: do you believe it's wise to continue working on a platform that will never provide you with what you need, much less what you want? See, in the beginning, it seemed pretty cool. You could get up when you wanted to. You could drive when you wanted to, drive the vehicle you wanted to within certain parameters, wear the clothes you wanted to within certain parameters, get paid every single time you completed a trip. It seemed fun. But then a little thing called price adjustment took place, where the rideshare companies were concerned for their needs, but they ignored the needs of the people who were doing the actual labor. Why is it wise to continue working for a business model that disregards your needs, much less your wants? I'm careful to blame or say that all of this is Uber's fault. It's not, because I was the one who made the choice to get the expensive vehicle and pay all the money and spend all the gas and put my time in it, because I believed what I was sold, that I had my own business, that I would be successful, and that I was contributing to the betterment of my community by being a rideshare driver rolling around in a rented BMW. I believe that. But I believe that while I was literally living in that car. I believed that it was okay to go to truck stops to take showers. I believed it was okay to sleep in the car, on the street, day in and day out, because I believed that was what I had to do to achieve my goal of succeeding in this thing we call America. I was sold that so much that I risked more than I wanted to be successful. I risked my health. I risked my very life to make this thing work. People can tell me all they want. Oh, you didn't work hard enough. You didn't work in the right areas. But, at the end of the day, I will remember enough to know just how hard I worked this thing and how much I tried to make it work. I tried every angle I could think of. Bottom line, I couldn't make it work. So for those of you who are out there and who are not able to make it work, I implore you, is it wise to continue on the path you're on now? And if so, why? Because the rideshare companies, they're going to continue on the path that they're on. Their priority is to focus on the needs of the customer first, because the customer has what the business wants, which is the money. Once the needs of the customer is satisfied, and once the wants of the business is satisfied, then the investors get what they want. After the investors get what they want, then the actual employees of the company get what they want. And then whatever is left over goes to the drivers. You might disagree with what I just said, but when you think about it, that is an absolute fact. If you believe it's wise to continue with rideshare, I would love to hear why. Because you have to ask yourself, think about this. Think about why rideshare created. So many people talk about how it was created, but no one ever really thinks about or discusses why rideshare was created. Rideshare was created primarily to save people money. That's all it was. They disagreed with the price they were being charged by a limousine company. And they said, okay, we need to find a way to make this cheaper. And they did. Disregarding the cost of the vehicle, the cost of the fuel, the cost of the maintenance, the cost of the insurance, the cost of the taxes, and the potential cost to the business if things go wrong. This is just with the individual limousine company. A few people with a few computers and a few dollars came around, changed it all, made billions from people who never once dealt with the customers. And now here we are. Is it wise to continue? I want to hear what you have to say. Thank you, and I will catch you on the next video.